Alright, cut it. Cut the intro, cut the music, cut the roar. Dun dun dun. It's all over. I'm done. I'm finished. Beef the Legend here. I got some stuff I'm gonna talk about. So no show this week. No podcast recording. I'll get to that in a moment. So this is what you're getting. You're welcome. We might be a month removed from Festivus, but I got a lot of problems and you people are gonna hear about it. What the fuck is happening to my Wrestlemania? And yes, this is my Wrestlemania. I'll be there in person. This view right here that you're seeing, I'll even show myself. Look, that is my view. That is exactly what I'm going to be seeing in a little over 2 months. Me, personally, there. Neat, right? Keeps not removing my background, and it's upsetting me. I'm getting even more frazzled. There, I'm back. 6, 7 days ago, at this very moment, it's filled with hope, filled with childlike wonder, thinking about the Showcase of the Immortals. Night 1 is absolutely going to be the Rumble winner CM Punk taking on Seth Rollins. Night 2, who knows? If we're getting Cody versus Roman, Rock versus Roman, I figured, well, we'll get a better idea after the Royal Rumble. Are we still going to see Brock? We're going to get Brock Gunther finally. Is that going to be a thing? A lot of excitement, Oh, was Okada going to show up? Is he going to be a special entrant in the Royal Rumble? Do we see MJF? There was a feel of, I can only describe it as childlike wonder. WWE, if nothing else, has a habit of letting everybody down. And I said this on the podcast, and it's always been kind of my thing that I try to do with the Royal Rumble. I try not to let myself get too excited because I'm like, it's just going to be a letdown. If I start fantasy booking the hell out of this, I'm just going to be let down. What happened? I said to myself, well, don't get too excited for MJF. It's probably unlikely. Who knows about Okada? Yada, yada, yada. And what I didn't expect was a wet fart of a Royal Rumble ending with Cody winning. Again. Super weird that they would let Cody win back to back. You know the names who have won back to back? Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, Cody Rhodes. Not that I don't like Cody. I love Cody. I think Cody's a great talent. He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. Crowd's into him. He's hot. Great. But to have him go back to back in discussion with those names, whatever. And like maybe it's a little bit of bitter grapes for Punk not winning, which, as we found out, is for the best anyway. But we'll get to that. So I wasn't thrilled with the Cody Rhodes winning. I wasn't shocked, but I wasn't thrilled. I didn't mind it. It just wasn't something that I wanted. Whatever. And he made it pretty clear there. I'm looking at Roman. I'm gonna finish the story. It's the same fucking verbiage he's been using for fucking 2 years. Finish the story. Finish the story. Cody, finish the goddamn story. We'll get to that. So then, 24 hours after the Royal Rumble, it comes out that CM Punk's hurt. Hurt his triceps. Again. Other triceps this time. And I tried to keep it on the DL, probably very poorly. But like CM Punk might be my favorite wrestler of all time. Um, like he is a guy that I gravitated to immediately when I started watching indie wrestling. Like I started watching PWG and Raw, and I'm like, the CM Punk guys is fucking great. He's gonna be one of the greatest of all time. And I basically had the opportunity to follow his career from Ring of Honor to TNA, from TNA to WWE, from WWE to UFC, from UFC to 7 years of obscurity to AEW for a cup of coffee, two blow ups, two injuries at the worst possible times, an unceremonious firing, and then the biggest return in wrestling history. I say that with all actual, like, that's how I feel. I feel like CM Punk's return to WWE was the biggest return in wrestling history. The way he left and the way he came back, I mean, like, he was persona non grata. He has a shirt that says, hell froze over. Hell did freeze over because he didn't like it there. They didn't like him. Nobody was happy. And here we are. Hence, that's why we all kind of made the assumption, oh, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Like, this is it. Like, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Like, this is going to be a thing that happens. Okay, so yeah, that's, my kind of story. He's been kind of my guy. I'm a CM Punk guy. And I've kind of, especially over the last few years here, tried to lay low because of all the problems he's had. I tried to, like, distance myself from that so that I wasn't being biased. As a journalist, I wanted to kind of keep some sort of integrity there. So we had the opportunity to buy WrestleMania tickets last, I think, September. Me and some guys that I grew up with as friends there and have remained, pretty close with. We game every week and such. Um, and we got our WrestleMania tickets in September. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like joking, like ha ha ha. I'm gonna get to see my favorite wrestler of all time, ha ha ha. Knowing that is probably pretty unlikely. Fast forward to Survivor Series, like, oh fuck, Punk's back. I'm gonna get to see my favorite wrestler of all time at WrestleMania. Fast forward to Royal Rumble build up. I'm gonna see my favorite wrestler of all time win a WrestleMania main event. I'm going to see my favorite wrestler of all time win a WrestleMania main event. I am fucking hyped. Let's go! Didn't didn't turn out like that. He comes out Monday, teary-eyed, realizing that he lost, that opportunity. They send Drew out to lean into the angle, probably setting up for that in the future. Cool. I don't fucking care. I, you know, I'm sure it'll be a great feud, great angle, whatever. But yeah, at this point, I could give two fucking flaccid dicks. So that was kind of like blow one. That happened, and I was like, I'm out. Like, I don't want to do the podcast this week. I was super fucking emotional about the whole thing. It's stupid. It's fucking first world problems. Whatever. Like, I was very emotional because, I had it was kismet. It was literally felt like it was meant to be. Where I was gonna see my favorite wrestler main event WrestleMania. Because even if he didn't win the Rumble, we were all fairly fucking certain he was going to face Seth Rollins. Well, his triceps injury kind of ruined that. So, like, I spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of like pretty fucking bummed about that. You know, if I'm gonna be real, pretty fucking bummed. But like, you know what? It's all right. At least I'm gonna see Cody finish the story at WrestleMania. We might get some good matches because of it. Maybe CM Punk makes an appearance. You know, it's gonna be a good weekend. Yeah, so basically kind of like talk myself through it, as you would a major uh loss, and kind of started to cope with it. Kind of started feeling like, okay, I'm all right. Even thought about saying, you know what, let's do the podcast, but I didn't end up sleeping well this week, so decided to skip it. So then last night happened. For those of you not up on the weeklies, which if you're not paying attention to this, then I don't consider you a wrestling fan. I don't care who you are. Like the wrestling world knows what happened. Cody Rhodes comes out on SmackDown and basically says that he's gonna take the title from Roman, but first he wants to take everything from Roman, and he's not gonna take the title from WrestleMania. And everyone's like, "What? He's gonna let a guy that he has counsel with take, you know, everything away from Roman first?" And out comes the fucking Rock. And yeah, the 10,000, yeah, that's what I keep saying. Oh, the 10,000 people in the arena. Yeah, you know what? Like, because that's what they're fucking there to do. The fucking sheep marks are there to do it. And I guarantee he's probably going to get a pop at WrestleMania because a bunch of stupid ass, fucking dumb marks probably are going to have tickets for WrestleMania. To me, this feels like betrayal. I understand this from a corporate understanding. Like, they're trying to make money. I get it. The Rock's a big star. Absolutely. Everybody loves The Rock. I have two kids at home who love The Rock. Okay, great. Everybody loves The Rock. I get it. And guess what? Before CM Punk, this guy loved The Rock too. My sequential favorites in wrestling have been Bret Hart, The Rock, kind of a gray area to CM Punk. That's been my wrestling hierarchy the last 30 years. So yeah, I was a big Rock guy. Everybody else loved Austin. Everybody loves Steve Austin. What? Stop a hole into a mud hole, blah, 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 blah. Stunner, drink beer, fuck fear, whatever. Like, I think because Steve Austin represented where I lived. The fucking woodland camo shirts, the fucking pickup trucks, the fucking beer drinking, the fucking chaw in the mouth. Like, I fucking hated that shit. I hated those kids in fucking school. I thought they were the fucking worst. And I hate that aspect of where I grew up. So, yeah, Steve Austin, traditionally not my favorite guy. Going back, I can appreciate him a little bit more for what he did for the industry. But I was a Rock guy. So, like, don't come at me like, well, you're just a Rock fan. Fucking abso-fucking-lutely not. I was a Rock fan. And you know what happened? Fucking Rock quit on me. The Rock became a guy named Dwayne. And he went off and he made terrible movies. Terrible movies. and made some other bad business decisions, but because he's fucking Dwayne Johnson and has the fucking charisma of, I'm not even gonna fucking say go there, but like he's got charisma out the wazoo. He's made it work. Good for him. I love his tequila. It's not bad. Pretty smooth. I love the XFL. Thought it was a great product. I'm excited for the UFL. I think his appearances on College Game Day have been incredible. I think his appearances on the Pat McAfee show have been great. I think he's fun to listen to, fun to watch. I love Maui. What I don't love is the fucking parable of CM Punk. Heed the fucking tale of CM Punk. What was it? WrestleMania 27? So 13 years ago, The Rock came back. And before that, CM Punk came out and talked about a guy named Dwayne who shows up to make money and put himself over under the guise of putting over talent. And I understand that there's a little bit of hypocrisy in that statement. I don't have time for that right now. I'm going to move past it. But the parable came fucking true. Didn't The Rock come back prior to WrestleMania 27, take the title off of Punk, who was at that time the longest reigning champion of the modern era? Longer than JBL, I think longer than Brett. I'm not 100% sure on those numbers, but he was longest reigning champion of the modern era. Longer than Cena, longer than Orton. He was the longest reigning champion of the modern era. The Rock came back specifically to take the title from CM Punk so that he could lose it to WrestleMania at John Cena. To John Cena at WrestleMania. We could have had Cena versus Punk. I'm sorry, that was WrestleMania. Yeah, no, it was WrestleMania 2029. So I'm a few years off. So I had to kind of shift through a few years there. But 29 was the one where The Rock won the title off of Punk and then lost it to Cena. We could have had Punk versus Cena at WrestleMania 29. Would have been a fucking barn burner. Their matches were incredible because John Cena is amazing. Punk was amazing. Like, they were great in the stick. It would have been a fire fucking match. Instead, we got Punk versus Undertaker, which was okay. Overshadowed because the next year was the year the Undertaker lost at WrestleMania. And Rock Cena, where Rock tears his abdomen really early into the match, and it becomes a fucking snooze fest. At which time The Rock is saying, well, I need to be more careful about this because I'm an actor and that cost me 2 weeks of work. Liar. Liar, liar, liar. You said something. You said several things, Dwayne. I am back and I'm never going to leave. He leaves for fucking 5 years. I'm not going to wrestle anymore. And we're going to shelf all this stuff with Roman. You know how I feel about that. If you listen to the podcast, you know how I feel about this stuff with Roman. He's on an amazing run. He's on a great tear. Best of his career. The last year and a half have been fucking boring. Because he's winning every match, the exact same way. Have him win a fucking match clean. But every fucking match, which are very few and far between, by the way. But every match that Roman wrestles is the same fucking script. Roman looks fire. His challenger comes back. Looks like they may have a shot at beating Roman Reigns. Uh-oh, there's Jimmy Uso. Uh-oh, there's Solo Sikoa. Bloodline interference. Roman wins, LOL. You guys know all about that. So I'm going to shelve all of that. Now, where we could have had CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the world title, Cody Rhodes versus The Rock for the WWE title, and Gunther versus Brock Lesnar for the IC title, we're getting probably, it seems apparent to me, Cody versus Seth for the title, which, okay, like they've had good matches. I don't have too much to say about that necessarily. Other than I'm disappointed that it's not Seth Rollins, but it is what it is. We're getting The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar's nowhere to be found because apparently he's a fucking weird, deviant, fucking psycho pervert. And who knows what's going to happen with Gunther. He's probably going to lose to Ludwig Kaiser because that's what looks like they're gearing up for. And it's not that I don't like Kaiser, but like, imagine what a guy like Braun Breaker taking the title off of Gunther would do for him. Imagine what a guy like Jey Uso taking the title off of Gunther would do to them. A guy like Chad Gable. I just like, now that all this has happened, I have no faith in the booking of the WrestleMania men. I think that the women are going to be tremendous. We're going to get Bayley versus Io in a story that's been 2 years coming. We're going to get Becky versus Rhea, which is a clash of two of the most dominant females of the industry. And we're going to get Jade and Bianca in some sort of like tag team. Maybe they face each other. I don't know. Either way, I'm here for it. The tag team scene's a mess. I'm holding out hope that we get DIY versus Damien and Finn. I get a real bad feeling that we're gonna get the Awesome Truth versus Priest and Finn. Which, you know what, good for our Truth. For he's always been entertaining, but like, come on, man, come on. I don't think the Awesome Truth needs to win the tag team title of WrestleMania. I don't. There's no money in that for me. So I don't know. I just, at this point right now, and yes, these are knee-jerk reactions because the news is less than 12 hours old. I'm very disappointed. I'm very second guessing my choice to go to WrestleMania this year. And I should have known better. Don't put the fucking money on the table until you know what you're getting, especially with WWE. But it's like, it's fucking Philadelphia. Like, it's in my backyard. It's never going to come to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh doesn't have the infrastructure to fucking support it. So, like, this might be my last chance to see WrestleMania somewhat close. And everything came together perfectly. So it's like, I'm not going to, like, pass that up. But, like, also, I feel a little bit of remorse. I do. Um, and I get it. Like, I bought the tickets before the card was announced. What do you expect? Okay, that's a fair point. But, then the card started kind of take shape. You heard about the rumored matches that were there, and it's like, okay, this could be like the best WrestleMania of all time, and now So I figured, what the hell? I'm gonna come on here, I'm gonna vent. But how pissed off I am that The Rock has stolen a main event WrestleMania spot from whomever. I'm pissed off that fucking karma has taken away me seeing the opportunity of my favorite wrestler of all time to main event WrestleMania. Pissed off about stupid fucking booking. Pissed off that I fucking bought into this shit 6 months ago. Got my hopes up. And now I'm gonna be disappointed regardless. So, yeah. Not a great week for Beef the Legend here. This too shall pass. We got a lot of time between then and now. I'm sure we're going to get great matches on the Mania card. I have no doubt about it. It's still going to be a really good show, but I'm always going to be left wondering what could have been. All right, I've talked enough. This is your serotonin for not having the Pittsburgh Power Driver podcast this week. This is what you get. You get me in my Ohio State sweatshirt on a Saturday morning, rambling to you and griping and bitching and being bitter. You're welcome.